You heard it here. Zones for cowards. So we'll get right into the 2 minute drill. So, what's your favorite football memory?
My favorite football memory?
Yes, sir.
Uh, there's so many, so many, so many, so many. Favorite football memory. Um, damn, that's actually a tougher question than I thought. Well, my one of my favorite football memories, I would say, like it happened last year.
Hmm.
Um, Great Plains Divisional, Joplin versus Tulsa. Joplin came out kicking Tulsa's butt. There was up 20-0 at one part. Then it started to rain, and then the
Hmm.
Gators began to swim. And oh my, that was a great comeback. It was just a great game in general. And watching the Gators block that kick on the 1 yard line to seal the victory, that was pretty awesome. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you.
I'm not going to share that same sentiment because it was pretty awful from the other side of it. But it was, as a
Bad, brother,
football
my
fan,
bad. But calling it, it was fun. Media
Oh
wise,
man.
it was fun. It was fun. I, I'm not even gonna get into that. Y'all know what y'all supposed to do. You know.
as a football fan, yeah, it was a fantastic game. But that was, yeah.
The coach, I would have been livid,
Oh,
livid, livid, livid. It would have been the most colorful. Yeah, yeah. Would have been a lot of color going on. I can tell you that right now.
There was a few expletives. So, who's the most underrated football player in the CMFL today, in your opinion?
The most underrated, Curtis Bent of the, which the Skyhawks. He is a top three defensive end, built like a Greek god. He has speed, power, he has it all. You don't hear nothing from him. I don't even think he has a Facebook or anything like that.
yeah.
But that's one of the better players that I've seen this year that nobody talks about. But I feel sorry for any tackles that had to go against them this year.
Seems like Skyhawks always have a couple guys that are kind of under the radar, but still really good.
They got a
They're
lot of guys.
quiet too.
A lot. They don't say nothing. They've got. I've given them a little publicity this year. I call them the goons because that's what they remind me of the goons. Just you call these people and they gonna come throw you out the club. That's
Hmm.
exactly what they are.
Who is places you've been personally? Who has the best stadium atmosphere in the CMFL?
It's a tie. It's a tie for me. Um, you can't discount what they're doing in St. Joe. I mean, they have the Coach C suite. It's beautiful, and they always have like 200 plus people at their games. It's loud for a semi-pro game,
Yep.
and yeah, no, they treat you real up there. Stadium's real nice, and it's a good atmosphere. I wouldn't want to be an opposing team going into that because it's louder than you would really expect it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not gonna front any atmosphere that Sam Sturgis does. He's gonna make sure it's A1. It's gonna be dope. I've been to a few of his events, and it's always good. It's always on point. Um, the one I went to this year was it? We did Crusaders Warcats up in Coffeeville. That was gorgeous. That stadium was gorgeous, and like even last year, at Missouri Southern, what I'm saying it was just A1. Always a great atmosphere. They lucky I don't live in Joplin. I can just tell you that.
Yeah, it's always a fun time to get out there at one of the colleges, let these guys play on that turf with that backdrop and stuff. It's always fantastic.
Yeah.
What is your go-to hype song on the way to a game? What do you got?
I got a few things. I personally like to listen to a little R&B before I go there just to relax because I know it's about to get real intense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as far as my go-to hype song right now, um, I would have to say, well, I can't say it here because it's a lot of expletives and cursing, but it's a song by YG. You know what I'm saying? And I'll play that, and I splash some water on my face, and I walk out the house like, I look in the mirror for after I splash water first, like, look, it's time to be a rock star, and then I just go and do it, and just yeah.
Love it. What is one current rule that you would change in our league?
Um, That's good. The 2 foot down rule, because I don't think the referees call the rules correct. Just anything that's going to produce more points personally and be more kind to the offense. Because I'm sorry, offense sells tickets and we want
Mhm.
people at the games. So yeah, 1 foot down. And yeah, college overtime. That's what I want. College overtime.
Yep.
Start a 25-yard line, make it a dandy, make for great TV and great, just for if you're a fan going to the game, you're going to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Anything to raise the drama, any more than we can, that'd be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you more of a blitz or drop back kind of guy?
Blitz. Zone is for cowards.
You heard it here. Zones for cowards.
Zones for cowards. Okay, so I'm from California, and the brand of football is good football out here. It's just not as aggressive as I would like. You know what I'm saying? At least from a defensive standpoint, it could be so like there's some dudes out here, and I'm sorry, I'm going to recruit some DBs that can run, and you're getting at least 6, 7 every time. It doesn't
Yep.
matter. You got to get the ball off, get the ball, because
Yep.
line play not that good at this level. So we're at any level we're going to do that same thing. We don't care unless you're one of those RPO teams. Then we have to play it a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're coming. We're coming.
I like it. Ribs or wings?
Wings, man. If you know me, I'm the chicken connoisseur, baby. I like boiled wings, fried wings, all wings.
There you
It
go.
doesn't matter.
What is your dream vacation spot? When all this is said and done, you get all that money, royalty from Semi-Pro Game Day, you're going to spend it on a vacation. Where are you going?
Few places I want to go, but I really want to go to. I want to go to Tokyo, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit of a anime geek, and I'm into martial arts and things like that. So I would like to travel just around there and check out some of the ninjutsu stuff, some of the judo stuff, some of the sumo stuff, and it's beautiful. Everything I see, I want to see like the cherry blossom trees and all this and that. And I heard the people are real nice out there, so that's one place I would like to go.
That'd be a lot of fun. What is one thing that people would be very surprised to learn about Coach C?
Uh, despite what people may think, or some people think I'm mean or something, I think I'm cool. I think I'm cool. I ain't trying to, what I'm saying. I think I'm pretty cool and kick back about a lot of things. But then again, I can turn it on. So I don't like to be mean because when I mean, the real Coach C is mean, but uh, media Coach C is nice. So we'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying?
Like it. Where did you grow up?
I'm originally from Fresno, California. I grew up between there and Sacramento, California.
Okay. A long way from home, bro.
Oh, this is home now. It is what it is. It is what it is. I like it out here.
What brought you into semi-pro media?
Um, well, okay, so the origin of all this, I was sitting at home one night, bored, and I remember seeing like the semi-pro rankings coming out, and I just never agreed. Like, you guys don't. There's no way you're saying this because you're not watching these teams. And so, I'm a little bit of an artist and stuff. So, I just went in. I'm the first person who put the logos on the rankings. You see everybody do that now. Well, I wonder where they got that from. And so we went and did it. The first time I did it, it's kind of like with these lists that came out. A lot of people, and it just, but it was more, okay, somebody setting a standard of what it is. And I like I said, I just made it for the guys in the Midwest group and just for like the HFA, the CMFL, and the MRFL leagues, and we just took off from there. Just that's kind of how it all started. Just it was a random like Tuesday, Wednesday night. I was sitting on the couch and I'll go take these logos and throw them on a list, make a top 10, and we're here now.
That's what I tell these guys, man. I'm like, just because you're doing one thing on Monday doesn't mean you're going to be doing something completely different on Tuesday or Wednesday, right? Like the course of your life can change so much overnight. You find something that you're passionate about, you get into it, you give a lot of effort and energy to it, and then you never know where it goes. You know what I mean? So like it's cool that they can see that they see you weren't a media guy, you weren't like a Fox News reporter from California that got into this. Like you're a real football dude, and you wanted to bring attention to other real football dudes, and that's why 95% of the league that's not doesn't have you on a hit list appreciates what you do.
Well, the cool thing about it is like we got a lot of great people in the CMFL. There's a lot of great people, and I think I have pretty good relationships with everybody, every team. You know what I'm saying? Players may talk crazy online, but for the most part, they're all very respectful in person. They're real good guys in person. I really haven't met no real bad people in this league, and just as long as I've been doing this, everybody treats me pretty well and treat my family well because I bring my family to the games. And yeah, everybody is it's been pretty cool. I never thought it would get like how it is today, and this has opened up so many doors for me. And I'm not going for like I said, I mentioned before, I'm an artist, so it allows me to do my art thing as well as do another thing I'm passionate about, and that is the game of football.
Right. That love for the game, I think that you have definitely shows through in your work because it's not just, you and I have had several conversations offline about getting this stuff going and what needs to happen here, and like most people don't know, you've held my feet to the fire a lot over the years about, hey, don't get lazy. Like that graphic doesn't look on point. Like if you're gonna do it, do it. So that's one thing that really shows is like your love for the game, and you have an expectation of excellence, and I think that a lot of coaches respect that too because they know you're not going to halfway do something. And, that means a lot to everybody on that end. So like pivoting and getting into the rankings, right? So you dropped the rankings this week. I had this outline done and it didn't say anything about the rankings. And then you dropped the bombshell of this first team, second team, and honorable mention, and everybody's collective semi-pro heads exploded. And so we could not do a show without talking about these rankings. So what goes into coming up with the first, second team and the honorable mentions for those that don't know?
So those who don't know, because I've talked to a few of the players about this, and I'll say like, oh, it's determined by the regular season. No, I never done it by that. I've always done it. I count the playoffs because we want to get at least 10 games worth, or at least 10 to 9 games worth of data to be able to say, okay, all right, we're the dude. I mean, your regular season sets the tone for what you're going to be, but that first playoff round kind of tells us who is who and what is what. You know what I'm saying? So we go by that. We if it's a close ballot race like it was today in a lot of this year, in a lot of cases, we're gonna go to based off stats and your head to head. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this player, did you beat this player? Did you beat his team? And we've had that happen a few times, so that goes into it. This year was a bit different, um, more than others because we put more of an emphasis on the head coaches' votes, and it made it very different this year. So it's I'm not gonna front players. Everybody who's watching this, I was not happy with the list. I wasn't happy with a lot of these things in the list, but I'm glad at the end of the day we got to have. I'm not sure of the number, but I'm pretty sure we got over 200 people recognized in our league. That's a league of probably like we got a league of like probably 800, 900 guys, something like that. Yeah. And I'm glad we got those young men recognized because we do this for them. Everybody puts in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this stuff, and we do it for them. You know what I'm saying? We do it for their families who go and travel with them on these hot summer days out here. Their grandparents who could see it and stuff. So we do it for the guys so they feel like, you know, everybody didn't go to college. Everybody didn't play in the NFL, nothing like that. But this is our college. This is our NFL. And we're going to give it the right respect that it needs.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, we have to treat this as a profession for some of these guys because this could be as close as they get to a professional football league. So everybody, the joke is we put the semi and semi-pro. Well, I think bringing attention to some of the awards that these guys get, and some of these guys are excellent athletes. I mean, they're fantastic at their craft, and I'll argue that they're better than some collegiate athletes because they're not putting work in the gym every day. They're not practicing every day. They're not doing X, Y, and Z every day. And when you have college guys that are in the gym, that's their whole job. Well, you
Yeah.
got dudes that have families. You got guys that, one guy that comes into mind because I've been around him for so many years is Daquan Johnson.
I
I
was
mean,
thinking the same person, bro. The same. He go and do roofs.
uh huh.
He gonna come out and do whatever you ask. He runs, he catch, he passes,
Mm-hmm.
he defends. Terrell Johnson too as well.
Yep.
That- I yeah
Yeah. The
yeah. I
the
go
Johnson
hard on
brothers
those
are,
guys.
yeah. I mean, they're built different. Like, and you say that I've seen Daquan show up at halftime in work boots and jeans, and he's like, "I'll be right back." And he'll go in and play safety, then he'll come and play corner, then him and Trell go out there and play backer, and then he'll play quarterback, and it's like, and they do everything at a high level. Like those brothers do everything at a high level, and they're just a microcosm of the entire league that are going to work and then driving to games, getting stretched real quick, and going out and laying hate on people, and then going back to work or whatever. And so getting these awards out there is very important. And I know people get mad about it and they gripe about it. There's no perfect science. If we got paid for this and we had a whole media department that covered this, okay,
Okay, yeah,
I
but
get it.
like with some of the stuff. Like I put a lot of time into this stuff. I'm fortunate enough to where like I said, like I'm a truck driver. You know what I'm saying? My real life job. And so I get a little time. I get to sit a little bit, and so I work
Mhm.
on this stuff, religiously because I know how important it is to a lot of our guys out here.
Yeah.
And so like I said, like most of these other leagues, it's not even close as far as what we do over here, especially in the CMFL this year,
For sure.
and putting faces on these names because there's some of these leagues they just throw the name out there. You never see a face. You'll probably see one or two pictures here and there, but
Mhm.
we're giving you the whole McGilla whole spiel over here.
Yeah.
And we want all of our young men who play in this league to feel important because they are important.
Exactly. That's enough said right there. Like that's why we do everything we do is to show respect to what these guys do week in and week out for entertainment. I think that
Right.
sums it up perfectly. So let's pivot to semifinals. It's going to be a big one.
Millie Mill, Millie Mill, Millie Mill. Now, these were the four teams I projected coming into the season
Mhm.
that I felt they were going to be the final four this year. Now, I had a little different, but for nonetheless, this is the final four teams. I felt like these teams got the combination of experience, athleticism, and their rosters are all built a certain way. The only other team, in my opinion, that has a roster built like that is Joplin really. Everybody else they built their lines of scrimmage are outstanding.
Mhm.
As far as Bears, Gators, Panthers, Bucks, their lines of scrimmage are outstanding. They got pretty dang good defensive play. All their defenses are pretty good, and they got good quarterback play. And if you have those three things, especially the lines of scrimmage, really, if you got those things, you're gonna be right in the fight. And like yeah, we got some massive games, and I'm so excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow's about to go crazy.
Yeah, I was talking to Theo earlier. Shout out Theo Bullard, new head
Shout out to
coach
Theo Bullard.
for Midwest. He'll be on here pretty soon. But I told him, I said, man, this may be the most stacked Final Four I've seen in a hot minute, as far as like complete teams that they can beat you in all three aspects of the game.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the Gators beat the Bears earlier this year. Fantastic game. That defense is nasty. It's just there's no other way to describe the Gators defense, and it's hard to beat a team twice in a year. And so how do the Gators go and beat the Bears again at home in a rematch that was just happening a few weeks ago? What do you think the keys to that game are?
Oh, the main thing for me in this game is the return of John Means.
Mhm.
That semi-pro game day 2025 All-American. He's what as long as I've been doing it, he's always been all CMFL. You know what I'm saying? This is the first year he's not a first team all CMFL because he didn't play most of the year.
Mhm.
But um you saw when he came back, the Bears look like the Bears. That's truly the heart and soul of that team. John Means.
Yep.
When you think of the Bears, you probably think of DK, probably think of Garrett, probably think of Paris Williams. You should be thinking about John Means, if we're being honest, because it looks like a completely different football team. And so now we have a situation where the Gators, that defensive line of theirs, that's their strength. The Gators remind me of that LSU with Glenn Dorsey, that national championship team, that defensive
Yep.
lineman they had. They got that going on with DeMarco Hubbard, who's been having an amazing year at defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
We all know Lorenzo Fagan, what he's been doing. Lorenzo Fagan's been killing. You got Frankie Davis on the other side, and you got Sir Henry Warner, and that's a very formidable bunch. And once they get going, they're very hard to stop. So the key for the Gators in this one is because John Means is back, that extra second or two of time is back. So that passing game might be able to do something. So it depends on how their secondary holds up. The Gators secondary, you know, they are that's a good group, but they haven't had to do too much because you're going to get sacked in a minute. It's just you get the ball off.
Yeah.
So you got that going on. So how they counter that is going to be very, very interesting. Are they going to be more aggressive and send people? You can't do that because Griffith's going to, you know what Garrett's going to do, and you give him some time, he's going to make you pay. You know what I'm saying? Griffith is still the standard at quarterback in this league. I don't care what anybody's doing. That's still the standard right now.
Yep.
And until somebody knocks him out the playoffs, then we'll say otherwise. But on the other side, you got Kendall Holmes, the hitman. And y'all know he's a magician. And this is probably, you know what I'm saying, like, and this is no disrespect to the crew, but this is probably the most talented crew, and this is the best offensive line he's ever had.
Ever.
He's the best line he's ever had, and they got some hogs up front. Gerard Wheeler, Dominique Collins, Chris Williamson, who should have been first team All CMFL, but it is what it is. You just got to watch a Big 99 from the Gators. Bryce Greenlee, you know what I'm saying? They got some hogs over there, and then the receiving core and running back room is crazy. Demarie Bryant in the backfield, Emil Douglas, Johnny Toombs at running back. And then you still got the 2025 MVP Dylan Chin to deal with, who demands double coverage. And they got some guys out there, Caleb Stacy, Tariq Hassan is having a great year out there at receiver. So me personally, you know what I'm saying, and tell the Bears, prove it. Like, you can lock up those other guys, but if they block your defensive line, that secondary is a little, even though they do got two all CMFL players, I'd take my chances throwing that football. But what's probably going to happen is the Gators probably going to control that clock because there's still no answer for what they did to them up front, because they gashed them up the gut, really. They gashed them up the front, up the gut. So when they wasn't passing the ball, because their edges are great with what was that, Josiah Woodard and Devin Colbert at end. But defensive tackle, I mean, Swanson Miller can't play every down.
Right.
So once you get past that, it's going to get very interesting. But it's going to be a dogfight, and I think it was weird. They just weird things happen in the Bears losses. I've been there for both of the Bears losses this year. And it's just, you know how when teams used to beat Nick Saban's Alabama, it takes the most amazing things to happen, the craziest calls to happen, all that. That's what was happening with the Bears in each of their losses. It just, some amazing, crazy stuff was going on. But yeah, we're going to be in for a good one. I just wonder how, you know what I'm saying, you got the Gators, who are a bit younger, the Bears a little bit of an older team. How are they going to deal with that heat? Because it's going to be hot tomorrow.
For hot and humid.
Yeah. So shout out to Levi and Micah. Please turn that AC on at 10 o'clock for me, for your boy. Please.
So talking about the Bears' losses, two of the teams, the two teams that beat them in the CMFL this year, are competing to go to the championship. And we've discussed what Tulsa has to do. I mean, we could sit here and talk all day about how good the Bears are, how well they do the little things. But it has been an interesting year because going into the semifinals, they're a 2-loss team. And that's not happened since I've been here. So we talked about what the Gators have to do to dethrone the Kings. The other team that beat the Bears this year are competing to go to the title game against the Panthers. So what, with the Bucks being where they are, they're going to be at home. Keontae Green's been slinging it. He's got so many weapons right now. Cade's running the ball about as good as any running back as I've seen in his rookie year.
Leading rusher in the league. He got over 1,000 yards rushing, 1,300 yards to be exact.
Yeah.
That's insane, insane at this level. And but they got their work cut out for them.
I think the Panthers last year not getting it done when they were a very complete team, that is going to be the deciding factor on if they can remember back to that loss. What can you do tomorrow that will change the outcome of what happened, last year against the Bears? So I think the biggest thing they have to do is figure out how to stop Green. How do you stop Keontae Green from being Keontae Green?
Well, the Panthers in the first game, if y'all watched it, they had a great game plan for Keontae. That was his worst game of the season. That was his worst game. He killed everybody else, but that was his worst game of the season. And the Panthers, a shout out to defensive coordinator Robert Webb of the Kansas City Panthers. He put together a great game plan to defend Green. And there's a lot of guys on that Panthers team that's been playing against Keontae Green, going all the way back to the MRFL, so they're familiar with him. But in these situations, Green normally makes something happen in these championship situations. This group of guys haven't beat Keontae Green in these championship situations. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. It's going to be interesting on both sides of the ball because there's injuries. I think the Panthers defense is pretty healthy for the most part. The Bucks defense, they're probably missing Giovanni Burke. They're going to be missing Giovanni Burke, who's been out all year so far. But I'm more concerned on the other side of the ball with Andrew Carmona, the center. The Bucks missing. I'm more concerned with that. And who else? And then on the Panthers, the lunch line 2.0. Shout out to Brandon Watson, first team All CMFL tackle. If you haven't, I'll call him Moses, because I'm telling you, I swear to God, he came in the fourth quarter of when they was playing against the Bulldogs, and he just walked in with his pads and stuff. And if you see him, he's a mountain of a man, and he's not he don't look like a lineman. He doesn't look like he doesn't. He's look like a comic book character almost, how he's built. You know what I'm saying? I wish I'm making this up. He walks in his pads. He comes out the locker room. Fourth quarter starts. They got the ball. They run the ball to the left. I'm not going to say they were struggling, but it was a dogfight between the Panthers and the Bulldogs. When he came in, people disappeared.
Yeah.
I called him Moses because he parted the Red Sea. It was a 30-yard run on his first play. A 30-yard run on his first play off his side because he blocked two guys and threw one of the guys into another guy. So that's three guys out of the play, creating a giant bubble right there. And Terry Hunter went and took it off that left side for 30 yards. And run game just changed. Even the Bulldogs coaches was like, yeah, he changed the run game. And but back to what I was originally saying, with Watson, and there's two major injuries. I'm not gonna say two injuries, but they've been missing Cole West and Derek Gomez, who are keystones to that Panther offensive line. So it makes me wonder, how are they going to play against the Bucks if they have to go over there with their backups on that offensive line, because that's the strength of the Panthers team, that run game. So it's going to be very interesting.
Especially having to do it at St. Joe, Coach Hirsch. Shout out Coach Hirsch. That atmosphere that he's got going on, like you said earlier, is like it's just hard to win there. But man, we're in for a treat for sure. This was fun, man. I definitely want to have you back. We got a couple technical kinks to work out with the studio. And what's up?
One thing that's interesting about this weekend before we go, we are in a situation where we got two Hall of Fame coaches on both conferences. Kevin Cox of the Oklahoma Bears, Jimmy Ross of the Kansas City Panthers. This could legitimately be their last game. And that puts a little bit more of a some more stank on there's so many storylines to what's going on this weekend. I encourage each and every last one of you guys to tune into these games this weekend. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's if any weekend is going to be a microcosm of how good the CMFL is going to be moving forward, it's this weekend for sure with the talent pool that we have this year and years moving forward. Coach, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for taking the time. I'll do this again soon.
My man.
Appreciate you, man. Be blessed.
Yes, sir.